when you first get into the house, you'll see that it's got all lock systems in place. Okay, so when you first get into the room, you'll see this area here. This is where you put your shoes. When you come into the room, I have these slippers here which are for outside of my room, but then you'll have a pair of slippers which you will wear when you're inside the room. These shoes are supposed to be clean, so you're not taking any of the dirt or any of anything like that into the room. When you first come into the room, you'll see a couple of things. First of all, this shelf unit, which has a lot of storage space. I'm not really utilising much of that space right now because it's closer towards the sink area, whereas I'd like to have most of my things in my main living/sleeping area. And then of course this room does come with a washing machine. It's not the perfect washing machine I've ever had, but it's really nice to have one in your room. And now onto the bathroom. As you'll see, if you're not aware of this already, Japanese toilets tend to have a lot of features which aren't present on standard toilets. Of course, if you have heard of this before, which is likely, you'll know all about that system already and be very looking forward to it, I'm assuming. Okay, and then above the toilet there's a lot of space as well. I'm using it for toilet roll at the moment, but you can also use it, you know, for cleaning products, things like that. The storage space system in Japan is very useful as well. Everything's stored away in a way that I would have never have thought of, and there's cabinets and units everywhere. I'll show you another example of that in a minute. Okay, so here's the mirror and the sink. This has features for straight down or sprinkle as well. Very useful when you need to clean, as none of the taps will access all of the areas, seeing as your bath, toilet and sink is all split. As you'll see yet again, there's more storage space here. Next, moving on to the bathroom. This is literally, as the name states, it's a room with a bath and a shower unit as well. As this room has everything separate, you won't find anything else here except for the bath and shower, places to put your products, etc, etc. Okay, next up we'll go for the closet area. Okay, so in the closet area there's a lot of space. The unit here didn't actually come with the room. I bought that from a nifty place, which is definitely somewhere I'd recommend for people who can't bring a lot over to Japan. They sell homeware stuff similar to IKEA, if you've ever heard of IKEA. And the prices aren't too bad either, so it's quite a good option. Oh, and as well, that's a very large suitcase. Being able to fit this in this closet is amazing, because you don't want to keep your suitcase out in the open 24/7. It's a very bad reminder of home, and as well it takes up a lot of room. Sliding doors separate the bathroom area from the living area, which is very useful. Okay, I'm just going to take you through a few more electrical items. In Japan, every room is built with AC, which in the UK is not a thing, so it's really useful to be able to have this system. There's the hot, dry and cool, so if you ever get put into a room with an AC system, it's relatively straightforward. This one's hot, this one's red as well, you can't see on the camera. Dry is green and cool is blue. And then this one, which this kanji here, you'll see around a lot, that usually means stop. So if you see this kanji, I would not go forward on your travels without double checking that it's definitely okay to do so. Okay, I'll just turn that off. And then this is the intercom system for this room. So if you ever want to let anyone into your room, then they will come up on the screen here, and you just have to press this button to speak to them, and then this button to let them in. The key symbol makes it quite obvious which button to press. Whatever you do, don't press the top button or this one either, because I have no idea what they do, but I know that the top button, when I first pressed when I arrived here, and the emergency like security guard came, and yeah, that wasn't a fun experience. That definitely settled me into the place very well. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the refrigerator, which is another great appliance which most of the accommodations at Rikkyo don't actually offer. As you may be aware by the title of the video, I'm living at Shiinamachi Dorm, which is in Shiinamachi Ikebukuro, which is one of the dormitories of Rikkyo University. I got this kettle from a friend who had already moved out of the area. As a British person, I actually adore. I have to have a cup of tea in the morning, basically, and finally being able to have a kettle in my room instead of having to go downstairs every morning is definitely a lifesaver, so I recommend getting one of those. And so yeah, I've got some whiteboards around as well, which help me to keep on top of everything. You'll be able to tell when you first arrive, there's a lot of paper in dormitories, and in schools and the government, everything is made from paper. Bring some family photos. You'll regret that if you don't bring family photos. These photos were gifted to me at Christmas. I didn't actually bring any with me, but of course I could just photocopy them. But yeah, it was really nice to get that for Christmas. Okay, next we have the well, I think it's a TV stand technically, but I'm never going to get a TV for these like the 10-11 months that I'm here, because I'm not that rich. I'm using it as an area to store my more favourable items, hairbrushes, accessories, etc. And of course there's a glass under unit which would be used primarily for CD players and I don't know, all I can think of is video players, but videos are a rather old-fashioned thing. Of course, we also have drawers in here for you to store any items away that you need to keep stored away. I've got my bin units there, I won't go into detail about those. And then obviously the desk area, vital for a student, of course. Comes with a really good chair. Quite self-explanatory. Anything on top of the desk is mine. I bought all of these items. It's really good to get some things in your room to like liven it up. And then of course on the side you will have drawers. There's a lot of paperwork in there. As previously mentioned, everything runs on paper here, so get used to having a lot of time to organise all of your paperwork. Okay, so this area is obviously the curtains, the window, but in fact instead of a window it's actually primarily okay, that was really difficult to open with one hand. Okay, so if you use the window, you will actually see a balcony. Not the best of views, especially not at night time, but still very cool for someone that's never experienced really having a balcony before. Okay, another plug unit over there. We've also got a ventilation system on the side for when using the AC, just to get rid of all that hot air if you don't actually want hot air in your room but you need to dry clothes. Coming back to that. Okay, and then the bed. not the most comfortable of beds. There is a system where you can hire bedding for the semester or year that you're abroad. I didn't go for that option, so I don't actually have the bedding that they give us. I only have my own beddings, which is quite thin, but I found myself to be fine with it because this bed is actually better than the one at my university at home. So it's up to you. If you want to save a bit of money, then bring your own, but they do have a system in place for people who just want to borrow them from the dormitory. I don't think it's that much money, but I could not tell you off the top of my head. And under the bed we also have 3 drawers, which I didn't actually find until I was here for like maybe 2 weeks. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate what I meant when I said drying clothes with the AC. So there's a really long hook which you'll find in your closet, and if you turn that hook, just turning it with one hand, you'll notice that in the wall there's a pole fixture, which at first I thought was a light, but I couldn't find a light switch for it anywhere, and someone actually told me that when you bring it down, this area actually doubles up as like a clothes hanging and drying station right next to the AC, so if you turn the AC on hot you can actually dry your clothes rather fast. So from the 100 yen store, which by the way is like literally 2 to 5 minute walk depending how fast you walk, and it's right next to the station, which is super close as well, Shiinamachi station. So yeah, anything that you need when you first move in, you can go there really easy, and as the label says, everything's 100 yen, or the equivalent of I think 75p in the UK. It's been a long time since I've actually checked the conversion rate, and of course it'll be very different from whenever you're watching this from when I edit this video. I will put how much I think it is at the moment, at the time of the video. Now